Morning, you beautiful YouTubers. I hope you're okay. I'm just doing a quick live. I'm just really happy today because of the justice that was done yesterday for George Floyd. I know I keep going on about it, but it's a story that I've followed since it happened. Very upsetting what happened. Devastating, the lies. Morning, Steve-O. Big love to you and your family. I know I keep going on about it, but I'm just so happy about the justice for George Floyd today. Yesterday I watched it live when they done the verdict of that racist copper. I've been following the story. I just devastating what he done to that guy, and I've been following it all this time. And I just wanted to do a live. I just wanted to get it out, you talk about it, like what happened to him, the copper when he was in the court, he didn't even choose to speak or anything. He wore his mask, and so you couldn't even see his reactions of when they said to him what he'd done, and you couldn't even see his reactions on his face. Morning, Juvix, beautiful. Talking about George Floyd this morning. This will probably, I bet you've watched it as well, because I know you like watching stuff. You're into your politics and stuff, but I know this is a bit different. But yeah, and I'm arranging, Juvix, to come and see you. I've spoke to my mum, and it will be in the next couple of weeks, because I have to get a house sit and my dog sit. So I have to get someone to come and sit with me dogs and that. So, but yeah, it'd be nice to come and see you actually in person. We'd be like two sisters walking down the road, wouldn't we? Me and you. Two sisters walking down the road. But yeah, I followed the story last night, and when they done the verdict, and you know what, that racist copper, he's going to get 80 years, and so he should as well. And the woman, bless the woman, he just lied. He said he was on him for 8 minutes, and when there's somebody didn't bring out that live, that live video of that copper actually leaning on him, it was longer than 8 minutes. And I just think it's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. It broke my heart. I cried when that come out, that when they done that to him. I cried, absolutely cried my eyes out to see it. Terrible, mate. And the same copper, because I've been following it, the same copper has done it 18 times, not killed, but 18 times before, where there's been incidents with him. And last week, there was another guy, weren't there, in the same city, Mississippi. Is it? I'll get my words muddled up, don't I? Is it Mississippi? Yeah, Dante, his name was. He died last week through the... Oh, happy birthday, Juvix. Big love to you. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy 21st birthday, isn't it? That's what I was going to say, 21st. I know I'm rabbiting on about it, but I just wanted to do a live about it. What did you get for your birthday, Juvix? Have you got anything nice today? Did Buford surprise you? Bless her. Give Juvix, let's give Juvix loads of birthday kisses, loves. Let me write some loves in here. How can I do it on here? Oh no, what have I done? Oh my God, I've done something, guys. I've pressed something. Bloody hell, I'm as good as useless, you know. There we go, back to comments. That's what I've done. Yeah, it's true, GTI, it was racist, yeah. And you know, and when I've watched it last night, and well, it's been going on for 2 days, isn't it? But the jury, like, they done 10 hours, didn't they? Which was quick, which was good, because you just knew, thankfully, that you got that, you know, they got their justice. But bless the woman that supported George's girlfriend. You know, she lost her bloke, didn't she, through racist copper 11 years ago, and that's what started her campaign to help people. Hi, Marisi, big love to you. I just want to apologise to everyone as well about my last live, because I was a bit not right in the head, as you all know, but sometimes you got to let things out, ain't you? Yes, happy birthday to you. Oh, Juvix, bless you. Yes, he got guilty on all 3, 2nd degree. And yeah, he did, Juvix. He'd do about 80 years. And you know what? I hope he suffers every day in there. And this might be a start of something now over there. Like, they're standing up, you know. This is something now, you know. And it just keeps going on. And, you know, there's things that we don't see or know. And sometimes you don't, when the news puts out things, they only put out what they want us to see. So we don't know, do we, you know? But that was proper justice yesterday. Bless you. Steve-O's live tonight as well, isn't you, Steve-O, with Turbo? That's going to be a good live. But yeah, I just wanted to get it out before I go out, because, you know, sometimes when you sit in, like, I just keep going on to people about it, but that's something that I do. But, like, yeah. Verdict was, you know, the verdict was like, I was jumping around last night. Justice was done. He never. Yeah, Juvix, you know, it's just absolutely. I'm so glad what he got guilty on all 3 as well, because, like, you know. Does anybody want to come on and just say hello quick before I go out? I ain't had anybody on for ages. Let's have a chat about it. I'm in a better place today. I'm in a good place. It's really good, you know. I wish everyone positive, like, you know, but I do apologise for the other day. I was not in a good place. Come on if you want. If you don't, it don't matter. It's up to you. I just thought, you know, nice just to come on quickly. I'm in a good place. Oh, bless. I knew my Juvix would come. Hello, my beautiful.
How are you doing, sweetheart?
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Oh, bless you. You know what? And you don't even look 21. You still look younger, don't you?
Thank you,
You're beautiful.
Hi.
I know. Me and Steve, we've said that you look good in it. You look so good. Bless you. I just want to know your secret.
Just
tell me.
Bookshelf.
Yeah, stick to you. I know. That's what I've been doing.
I agree with you. I was dancing around the kitchen when I seen the verdict last night.
I thought of you last night. Oh. Do you know what? I actually thought of you. I was standing there, and I was like, because I was gonna message you today anyway to say that I've arranged with my mum, because obviously I've got to get cover with the dogs and that.
Yeah.
Because I would like to come down, because I do need some. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to come and see you as well. You know.
The break.
Yeah, and to spend time with you as well, because
be nice,
you know, I'd love it. I can't wait. I really am looking forward to it.
Well,
My mum said, yeah.
I can't wait to see you, Shell. It'll be
Bless
good.
you. I could give you a big squeeze hug. But yeah,
Yeah.
I thought of you last night. I thought, you know what? I bet Juvix is watching this right now as well.
Oh,
And did you see the
well,
woman that's been supporting her? What they've done to her? They've
yeah,
hounded her.
yeah. I've been watching all the trial, and
Yeah,
obviously what other prosecutors in America were saying about it. But
yeah.
it's just, I was responding to GTI, says, don't forget he was a hardened criminal and attacked a pregnant woman. Well,
No.
yes, he was a criminal.
Yeah,
I think the fact that the woman was pregnant was a lie. I think that was just media hype, because I've looked into that.
yeah.
And
You get
yes,
it with the media as well, don't you? They lie, and that's what they say.
yeah.
They twist things, don't they?
Well, with that guy, with George, it was just a pure murder.
Yeah, it was murder.
It was a pure murder. Look how I look at it. There's plenty of people that I know who are very nice people now, who were criminals, who were
Yeah,
criminals, and they turned their life around. I was
of course.
talking to Dave on a channel the other week, and he was saying about he'd been in prison and stuff like that, and he changed himself around. And it's people like you think, hang on a minute, people are having a go and saying, oh, George Floyd, don't forget, he's a hardened criminal. People do change their lives around. That guy had started and changed his life around. He hadn't been in prison for years.
You're right, Juvix. It's true. He did. He was suffering with addiction, wasn't he? He had addiction, and he did. You're right. He turned his life right around, and because he's classed as a hard criminal, doesn't mean that he was going to do anything like pull out a gun or anything like that.
So,
They killed him. That
look,
was
I was
racist.
at it, yeah. He'd went into a shop with an alleged fake $20 bill, and that's
Yeah,
why the police were called. And I don't care who you are, nobody deserves for a
no,
copper to be chief executioner, judge and executioner. Nobody expects that. We have police, everybody has police to put
yeah,
it forward to the prosecution service. The police are not there to act as judge and jury and executioner over people. It's
yeah,
certainly not
yeah.
people in that country.
You're right, Juvix. And you know what, Steve-O, you're so right as well. That's why I knew. That's why when I got it out today, because I was so excited last night, because I think I did say to Steve, like, you know, I knew you'd come in. You do talk so much sense, Juvix. You have got, honestly, and you were right. And he didn't. And you know what got me? 8 minutes to put his weight, and when he was saying he couldn't breathe, and then he lied. It was longer than 8 minutes,
Yes,
but 8 minutes is still long enough to kill someone, isn't it? It's
he
like,
knelt on him. He knelt on him for 9 minutes and 26, I think it was, seconds. But after the medics come, and you see it in the video, because I remember seeing it the first time, a medic come and she quickly touched his neck and walked away. And I'm screaming, and he's still on
yeah,
his neck, by the way. He's still got his knee on his neck. And I'm
yeah,
screaming, for F's sake, why has she walked away? He was already dead. That's why she walked away.
yeah. She
And
knew, and you thought,
that copper carried on kneeling on his neck for 3 minutes and 26 seconds after he was dead.
yeah.
What kind of animal does that?
Well, he's not even an animal, Juvix, because animals are caring. He's not an animal. You can't even. He's evil, mate. He is the
I'll be
evil.
honest,
Here,
my
Juvix,
heart.
I've got to say something. 666. I've got to say this, right? 666 is a sign of the beast, and you turn it around and you get the police. But that's not meaning me, because, like, obviously mine's spiritual. But that man was evil. He was a beast to do that to him. Honestly, hon.
I was watching it last night. My sister FaceTimed me, and she was going, "Oh my God, the verdict's going to come out." And I'm going, "I know, I'm sick of waiting for it." Anyway, we were watching it, and she was saying, "Oh, he has to get." I said, "Mandy," I said, "I have a horrible feeling that he's not going to get guilty on all counts." I went, "And if that happens, America's going to burn tonight."
Yeah, because they put sorry for interrupting, Judith, but they put like barbed wire around, didn't they? They were expecting something last night, weren't they? They blocked all the schools and everything off, didn't they? Because they were expecting something. He had to get guilty on all three duplicates.
That I know. The first one, when they said guilty, my sister's jumping and punching
Yeah.
me, and I'm holding my breath. I'm thinking, I'm not getting excited till I hear the last one.
Yeah.
And when they done the last one, it was like a party in here. I
Yeah.
thought that guy's been vindicated. That should never have happened. I mean, when all the coppers come out, his chief inspector, his captain, the training instructors, when they all come out and go, that is not what we practice. We do not teach that move. But I know they never threw him under the bus because he actually done it. But since George Floyd, there's been more coppers within
there has
on the neck.
Yeah, there was Dante, wasn't there? There was, you know, the woman that supported the George Floyd's missus. She's the one that does the campaigns to like who they've been hounding. They've been been sitting outside her house. It all started with her bloke, her fella, because he was killed and put in a dustbin, weren't he? The copper killed him and put him in the dustbin. And then there was a guy called Dante, wasn't it? They're saying last week he was killed by. And you're right.
He was 13, Dante. He was 13, right? He had his hands above his head because they told him to do so. He had his hands above his head. When he had his hands above his head, he's a 13-year-old kid. They shot and killed him.
Yeah, they did. And the woman said, didn't she? She said it is all to do. It's deeper than. It's so deeper, and it is to do with racism, Julie, and it is because this will. If you don't, you get it because you're following it, and it's like, you know, it's got to stop. It has to stop, don't it? It's
like, when George Floyd, you want to watch this. You want to watch your guy. Put it on your YouTube, and they call him Roland Martin Unleashed.
Let me write that down. Hang on, because you know me, I forget. I'm so forgetful. I really am. What's his name?
Roland Martin.
Roland Martin.
Unleashed.
Yeah,
now,
I'll give him
a is, right? He's a black news channel. He has his own channel. And I've been watching him for about, 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
Usually, what he puts on his channel, it's everything. Any black person in America that's been slighted like that, because not all of it hits the national news, and certainly not all of it hits the international news. But Roland Martin does it in the amount of black people, mainly men, that are being killed at the hands of coppers for no good God, traffic stops, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I've seen some of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, the way that they talk to him and the way that they do it to him. Do you know what? It's like they're nothing, you know, and you just think, you horrible. We're passionate. That's the thing, Duke. When we're passionate. So when George Floyd, when it happened with him, and it's like, I wanted to jump in the screen. So I bet you was like, right, you know what I mean?
Do you know
why didn't anybody help him?
Well,
they were screaming.
I think it was that week or that fortnight that George Floyd was killed, right? Before then, you had a young black guy jogging down the street. Yeah, he was on his jogs. He'd done the same route, and this white guy who was an ex-copper and his son had seen this lad jogging through their neighbourhood. No black
guy. I see that one. I know the one you're going on about. Yep.
And they chased him down with another guy, one of their neighbours, Philemon.
Yeah.
They run him down. They run him down with the car. They hit him with the car first. Then they jumped out. Then they started hitting on him, and he's fighting them back and trying to run out the way. It's all on video while this guy's taping it. And then the guy pulls the gun out and shoots him. Now, this ex-copper used to do work for the district attorney of that town. They hid that case for 8 months before it come to light. So he would have gotten up with it if another prosecutor hadn't read the case that was dormant and they said, nah, no case to answer to. This other attorney read and he went, whoa, what's all this about? and he took it to the next county to be prosecuted because that county wouldn't. So it's not just a case of coppers being allowed to kill black people. It's getting hidden. They're getting away with it.
They're hiding it, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's true. And that's so when it comes to another level. Corrupt. It comes to so many levels, and it's like
it's not just the coppers. And the difference between our coppers over here, if our coppers over here were sacked for doing something wrong, like them do, like that one who done not so long back of putting the video camera in the police women's shower rooms, things like that. If our coppers get sacked, they're sacked as a copper and that's it. In America, they can go to the next state and be a copper in that state. So they're still being a copper. So there's no
justice, is it?
Yeah. But now, hopefully, with this, you might see some justice.
Yeah.
I mean, the same time as George Floyd and that young jogger, there was a young lass, Breonna Taylor, who was a medic. She was a paramedic, asleep with a boyfriend in her own flat, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, remember that as well. Yeah. That one as well. And they actually barged in, didn't they? And that was so sad.
They called that one a no-knock warrant. And they were after this, what they said was hardened criminal at her.
Yeah. And she wasn't, was she?
No. So when they do a no-knock warrant, it means they can come straight through the door and start shooting, which is what they've done.
Yeah.
And they did it. Now,
they killed her.
Now, not only did they kill her, they tried to say that a boyfriend, if you don't say XYZ to back us up, we're going to do you. He went straight to the press. So they had to backtrack on that. Anyway,
good on him. But that's what they do, though, Juvix. That's what they do. They put, yeah.
But you know, the beauty of this one, of this bloody thing that happened to that poor lass, the guy they wanted, right, they'd already had him in prison 2 hours before they went and done a no-knock warrant and killed this lass at the wrong address.
And it was the wrong address, wasn't it? Yeah, and she oh my God, I was crying.
The coppers weren't going to get done for that until there was an outcry, and now they have. Look at, I mean, what was it? Last week in Minneapolis, as this trial was going on, I don't know whether you've seen that on the news, there was an army lieutenant, black guy, obviously, coming home after serving, I don't know if he's in Iraq or where have you, but he'd done a tour. He was on his way home in his car. The police told him to stop. The area he was in was dark, and he thought, hey up. So he parked in where it was light, stopped the car. The coppers were dragging him out the car, macing him through the car, punching him.
That one, Juvix. I didn't watch that one.
Oh man, well that lieutenant now, that copper who maced him and was calling him all sorts, has been sacked. He's put in for £1 million compensation. Now that's that.
I hope he gets it as well. You know, I hope he gets it.
Oh, you'll definitely get it. They've said now. The same night, a mile down the road, I don't know if you've seen that one, is when they've done a traffic stop for not putting the signal on, a bloody minor traffic stop.
That's where it starts, though, isn't it? This is how they get.
They should have just given that guy a ticket and sent him on his way. They were trying to drag him out the car. A policewoman pulled her gun out, and was shouting, taser, taser, and she shot him in the side and killed him. She went, oh, I thought it was my taser gun. Big difference between, they were going through the differences. The feel of a taser gun, the butt of a taser gun.
She knew it weren't.
Bright bloody yellow. That's what they're saying. But you know what they're doing with her? They knew she was going to get done. They allowed her to resign so she still gets her full pension.
That's the thing, they get away with it, and that's the thing. And this is the thing yesterday with, maybe like you're saying, like you just said as well, this is where the justice is going to start beginning now, because he's, you know, I had happy tears last night because it's sad what happened. It's so sad, and like it's not going to bring him back, but it's like it is justice. He's going to rot. That copper, that evil, he's going to rot. And I hope, oh, you can't even say it, can you?
Look, you know what's going to happen at the end of the day? He's going to be in prison. When he did get sent to prison, when he first done it, when he was on remand.
He'll be protected, wouldn't he?
Of course he is. There was hell on in that prison, because when they sent him down, when he done it and he was remanded, there was 9, what do they call them? 9 guards on that wing where Chauvin was in that prison, right? 9 guards who were on that wing at all times, and they're all black. So when he was sent in there, they removed the 9 black guards and put 9 white guards on.
Wow. So it's just that I just don't, honest to God, right? That just shows a lot then, doesn't it? Like their actions just show and say so much, doesn't it?
But they won't be able to do that this time for the next 12 to 20 years, however many he gets.
He's going to get up to about 80, isn't he? Over 80, do you reckon? About 80 years?
There's 3, I think there was 3 levels that could either be 10 year, 20 year or 40 year, I think.
I think the first one was up to 40, wasn't it? Second degree. And then the second one was up to 30. And then the third degree was 10, up to 10 years. And I hope he gets all of it, you know?
I mean, he's going to have to be sentenced on each charge, because that's what they do, don't they?
Did you see him sitting there, though, Jubix, with his mask on, and he didn't choose to speak, so no one could see? You know, you could. I think they should have made him take his mask off so you could look at his face. You know, he had his face all hidden, and you know, he could have been doing anything under that. Look, you know what I mean?
I do, but look, at the end of the day,
just so you could look at him in just, you know,
But at the end of the day,
no words are ever going to bring.
How I usually look when I'm looking at something like this, and like I was yesterday, I was watching his face, and his eyes were flickering, and he knew then. He knew. And you could see the demeanour of him. And I mean, if you looked at it, the judge was still talking. So after he'd done it, you were guilty on all 3 counts. And he said, right, take him away.
Yeah. And do you think that's why he chose not to speak them? Because he knew, he just knew. Yeah, because if they wouldn't, I'll tell you what, if he had, you know what, if he wouldn't have got guilty, that I'll tell you what, that would have been a different day today. Honestly, we would have been.
Well, Shelley, if that ex-copper hadn't have been found guilty, America would have banned last night, and it would have spread right around the world. It would have come over here
worldwide. Yeah, you're right.
Done. Because you know, people keep saying, you know, all lives matter, and we know all lives matter.
Of course,
all lives matter, but at the minute, Black lives are under attack.
Yeah. And it's true, because when you sit and listen to this woman who's done this campaign about, I mean, she's done this campaign for 11 years. So this is how long it's been going on for her. And it's been going on way before that. And you know, Jubix, you've told me, and you have spoke about like a lot of stuff. And I've learned so much from you, you know, about like your family history and stuff, you know, and it's just like this woman, and it's like, bless her, it shouldn't be like this. This world is like, you know, like some of my lives, like on the Saturdays, this world is like so evil, isn't it, sometimes, and messed up, and like people should like change the colour of their minds, shouldn't they, you know, and stop being,
Should. I mean, when you've got people, a section of society that has to go out and protest for rights, not to be killed. This world hasn't changed that much from the 50s, 60s. I mean, the civil rights in America, I think about 1960 something, when they had the March for the Civil Rights in America, when they couldn't drink out the same water fountains as a white person, when they had to sit on the back of the bus by law.
I remember you telling me this. Yeah, I've learned this like from you, you know.
Rosa Parks. If it wasn't for Rosa Parks sitting on the bus and they've told her to move because she wasn't up, there was no seat, so she sat at the front, and they said move, and she went, no, I won't. And that's what kicked it off. Now, when you've got things like that, I mean, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, in 1966, I was a 6-year-old kid. And I'm in my own country, oblivious to the fact that people the same colour as me were not allowed to drink out of the same fountain as a white person. It's shocking.
It is shocking. It's terrible, isn't it? It's absolutely wow.
And then people are going mad and going, oh, you know, and all lives matter. Yes, we know all lives matter. We know all lives matter, but it's ridiculous. It's like a fire. It's like a house being on fire, and the fire brigade come down the street, and this house is ablaze. The fireman gets out, and they've got the hose pipes on this blaze of a house. Next door neighbours running out saying, "Put that fire hose on mine. My house might catch fire." And the fire guy looks at me and he says, "Your house might catch fire, but this one is actually on fire.
Yeah.
We have to deal with this first, and then we can deal with yours, because at the minute you're safe." It's the same thing, but it's life involved.
Yeah, and I think sometimes as well with like, I think with where obviously America's different, isn't it? Because they're allowed to like carry guns as well. So they have the, it's like the power's gone to, you know what I mean, Juvix as well. And
it's like how I look at it with America, they're slightly different in the rest of the world. That obviously there's black people all around the world, but in America, it's not that long ago. We're only talking the 60s as well. It's not that long ago, and they still have the KKK and the white supremacy. They could go out lynching black people then in the 60s, and nothing was done about that either. There was one woman, can't even think of her name at the minute, and she made history. It was about 30 years ago, and her son was lynched. He was only a young lad. He was beaten and lynched in a tree. And these white supremacists, and they took them to court, known for a fact at that time they were just smirking, yeah, we'll get off with this. And I can't remember, what they done is, they did get off with it. They got off with it, murdering her son. Wow. So she took a civil action against the white supremacy group in that town. So she took them to a civil case, and she won, and it made history then. And what it done was, they awarded her so many million. Now, for her to get that money, the white supremacists, right, they had to sell their headquarters, they had to sell that and give her the money. Any money they had in the bank, they had to give to her. Any white supremacist on their books, they were all culpable of it. So they lost their homes, their houses.
Do you know what? I'm glad that they lost, and they lost everything, and they had to pay out. But no money will ever bring back what you've lost, will it? It's like,
the point being, 30 odd years later, it's still happening, whether they have the money or not. When Black Lives Matter protest started in the summer last year, there when George was murdered, one of the organisers of the Black Lives Matter movement was in the protest. Then, if you remember, the police were coming in and picking people up in unmarked cars at the time and taking them away. They're on about that.
They were doing so much to him as well. Do you remember when it was writing and they were horrible what they were doing to him?
This leader of the Black Lives movement, she went missing. They found her a fortnight later, after being took away by said police. They found her a fortnight later in this remote place, hanging. They'd lynched her.
And it happens, and it's true. You're right. It happens, and they cover it up. And that's when it comes to, like, there is so much corruption with them all, and it's like there's got to stop. You know, but I really pray it does, because
what's happened, as soon as Merrick Garland was sworn in as the Attorney General of the United States under Biden a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
As soon as he was sworn in, he reversed quite a lot of the racist memos that Trump had sent out. One of them was that coppers could go in hard and fast and they wouldn't get done. That was a memo sent by Trump to all the police departments. So they were emboldened then. Hey, the president said we can do this. Now, Biden has reversed that, and he's setting up a group, a body, to oversee anything like this in the police department. So things are starting to change slowly. To be honest, after this trial, it's over the next few months, It's going to be interesting to see how it's changed and how they're going to implement the changes.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it would be interesting to see as well, because, you know, they have to change it. You know, it has to stop, doesn't it? And it's like, you know, it's not, you know, we're humans. We're all humans, you know. Start treating them like treating us like it, treating them like, you know, stop it.
I mean, there was, I think, when was it, about 2 years ago, there was a young black lad, about 15 he was, and his parents were very wealthy. He lived in a gated community. So he wasn't you know, he wasn't a part of no gangs. He lived in a gated community, very wealthy people. He had his earphones in. He went to the shop to get whatever he was getting. It's not near his house. He was walking back. He had his headphones in, his hood up, and this, I think he was Mexican as well. This security guard, or was he a security guard? I'm not even sure. I think he could have just been a member of the public, you know. And he spotted this lad, and he pulled his gun out behind him, and he was shouting, "Freeze, turn around." The young lad didn't hear. He had his headphones in, and they shot him in the back and killed him.
Oh.
Got off with that.
But you see that's how. But you see, he got off with that, and it shouldn't be allowed to do this. You know, he didn't hear him, so he's innocent. Yet again, another innocent person has been killed, and they have been killed. That's it.
This is
and you get all these killers that get sent, like, you know, they just get. I just think it's all corruption all the way through.
All corruption, and what it means is a black life is less important than a white life in America, and that's basically it.
But it's, you know, everybody, we're the same, and it's like, you know.
There's a documentary out there, I don't know if it's on Netflix or something, and it's called 16 Shots. And this only happened, like you say, you can go on and on, but this only happened last year as well. There was some kind of fight going on between a group of lads. The police were called. The lads scattered and dispersed. They had 16 police cars down the side of the road. All of the police cars had stopped. All of the coppers were out their cars, right? And you see on the clip that this young black lad, and you know how wide the American roads are.
Yeah.
He started walking up the middle of the road, but, you know, like say on the white line, he did have a knife in his hand. It was down by his side. And don't forget, Americans can carry knives, not like we can.
It's different, isn't it? It's like,
he had the knife by his side, and he was walking up the middle of the road. These coppers could see him. They weren't doing anything. They were watching him. Then, like, they were parked on the left-hand side. He was starting to walk to the right-hand side, right away from them. And then in the distance, you see this other cop car come flying down the road, screech to a halt next to these other 16 police cars, and all of these coppers were out. None of the guns were drawn. He sped down the road, screeched to a halt, jumped out, emptied his revolver into the back of this young lad. 16 times he shot him. Going to reload to fire again when the coppers dived on him and stopped it.
It's just, I just can't, like.
Did you imagine this was happening to white children? When you wouldn't dare send your son out, you'd say, right, Callum, I'd be frightened. Look, don't do this, because if the police pick you up, do you know what I mean? If you had to be frightened every time your 14-year-old white boy went out into the street. And
that's what I was going to say a little while ago as well. You know, it's terrifying for you to go out. They're looking over that, you know, and it is true, because you see it, don't you? There's some YouTubers out there that put it on there, you know, that they're driving down the road, a copper goes past them, and they know, they actually say he's going to pull me, and they do, and they're right, it's true.
You know, I grew up, I was like, a teenager in the 70s. So this was before the Brixton riots here. When I grew up, yes, the coppers could call you any black bastard nigger, they could lay the tongue to, yes, they could beat you, and nothing happened. That happened quite regularly. I used to, when we were kids, my father was forever coming home beating up that the coppers had knocked hell out of him, just for the fact he was walking down the street and he was a black man.
Remember you telling me this.
Yeah. And then he was beaten up by one lot, just because, by a group of blokes, because they're white and he was black, walking down the road, and they cut his bottom lip off. My dad obviously had a full bottom lip. He's a black man. And they cut it off. in the spot in the 70s, the plastic surgery that was done then wasn't very good. So it was like my dad's bottom lip was pulled across his stick. But that's how it used to go on here. Now, we put a stop mostly to that by the laws we fetched out.
Yeah.
America haven't even got a hate crime law.
No. Yeah, it's different, isn't it? It's totally, like, absolutely different. It's like they're allowed to walk around with, it's like they're allowed to walk around with guns.
Yeah.
You know, their law is totally, completely different. And I suppose, you know, they should take the guns away, mate. They should save so many more people's lives, you know.
In America, it's like part of their laws is they're only allowed to pull their gun if they're in fear of their life.
Yeah.
Half of these, I mean, all these murders we've been talking about here, each one of them had no right to pull their gun.
Yeah, that poor boy that you were saying with his headphones in, he was just walking with his back turned, didn't hear him, and they pulled the gun on him. I get you, you know, it's right what you're saying. That it should never have happened. It proves, doesn't it? They're killers.
It's happening every day. Like I said, look at last week when George Floyd's murder trial was going on, and that army lieutenant, for no reason, was beaten by 2 cops and maced.
Yeah.
And then the same night,
I just want to swear.
The same night that young lad was killed. Now that's in Minneapolis Police District. And
that's where this lady's saying, you know, the lady who's done the campaign.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same state. So it's that state where it's more, and it's hopefully it will change, you know. Hopefully after yesterday. Oh, I'm so glad. You know, Judith, I love, you know, it is true. You are so, you're just what, you just, I hope you've had a good birthday morning as well. Having a chat. I knew you'd love chatting about it, bless you. Because you do, don't you? You love chatting about stuff, and I mean, you know a lot as well, and we learn from you. You know,
I've been following the American ones and what's going on for about 5 years now.
Yeah,
and mainly because you think whatever happens in America, right? Usually, like socially, is like trends, and we normally follow America. Years ago, it used to be like a 10-year trend, like a gap between what would happen in America that would come over here. But over the years, it's no 10-year gap now. It's like instant.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be instant, and it's like I said, in this country, after the Brixton riots in the 80s, things seem to calm down. They fetch laws in. But then since Brexit, it started again.
Yeah.
The racism in this country, the attacks in this country, it started again because you're divided. But in America, it's always been like that. So when Trump got in and he was emboldening the white supremacists and giving them the nod, which is why people in America think, and the coppers, of course we can kill black people. Who are they? They're nothing.
Oh my God, you know, it's disgusting. It's just evil. You know, we're all the same. You know, I know we're not all, we're all different, but you know what I mean.
But it's a great shame, you know, because not all coppers are like that. But the
that's it. They give some, like they give probably the good ones.
Yeah.
Like they make them all look bad, don't it? And that's the thing. And it is true what. Like on some YouTube channels that I've seen, you know, we do need coppers, and we do need, you know, we do. And it's like
to uphold the law, not one who puts on a uniform, and that's the difference. I think that all coppers should be psycho. They should be psych evaluated before they even put a uniform on.
Yeah, you're right. Because have their own, like,
that's the difference.
It's all down to, like, I think, what is it when I don't know what happens when you go in for it, but is it like more fitness or something that they tend? It's a bit like the army, isn't it? They tend to worry more about the fitness, and that. So you know, but you're right. Mental state, like they should psychologically be tested. Really, it's right.
They didn't go out. They're going to go on, but
it is true.
Hopefully, we'll see how much is going to happen now in America. and hopefully that trend doesn't come over here. But
Yeah.
I watched a video with AB yesterday, and
Who's that, AB?
you know the AB, the auditor, auditing Britain.
I don't know. Don't know
Yeah.
if I'll have to have a look.
He's just got his first. I think he's the first one over here. I'm not absolutely sure, but he's got 100k followers now, and he said he would do a face reveal when he did. He hasn't, like, which I'm pleased about. But my point being, he put a video out there yesterday. He was in the town centre somewhere, and these coppers just were really roughhousing these young lads, slamming them against the wall, doing all. They hadn't done anything.
That's
And
the thing. Yeah.
AB was recording, and he was shouting to the lads, ask them what they're stopping you for, what they're detaining you for, ask them what the section is. And if it wasn't for AB, I think, stood there,
They would have hurt him.
I think they would have arrested them and said they've done something. Because if a copper says, oh, I don't know, he went to hit me, they're going to do them. But
and they're
AB
always
was there.
believed, weren't they? That's the thing. And it's like, that's why when you see these people that say video it, and they are right. It's like, I remember someone saying to me, you know, if you're ever like in that situation, just pull out like your camera. And I think somebody did that. And it is true. And they're bullies. They're just bullies, Juvix, you know. They go around in a group,
pack.
don't they? And it's pack. You're right. And it's true.
I mean what worried me so much for, like you say, about that verdict as well, like you say, everybody pulls the phones out now, and that's the difference. People do pull the phones out now, but if you remember the Rodney King incident, what was that, in the 60s or 70s? And that
I'm
was
learning now.
yeah, that was a who was it who filmed that? It was a film crew, you know, the helicopters in America where they have the film crews. So this film crew, I don't know whether it was CNN News or something like that, they had a helicopter in the air as a film crew. And in the Rodney King incident, there was about 6-10 coppers. They had the sticks out, they were beating him. That went on for ages.
Oh my God, Juvix, I've just pulled up a picture and of his face. Oh my God.
Yeah. Now, all of them coppers got off with that, Shelley. And that was filmed. So that's why I say we'll see if it changes, because from the Rodney King days, and like even up to a few years, people have been pulling the phones out. Nothing. They said this is the first time a copper has ever been done for the murder of a citizen. This is the first time.
Yeah, they said that, didn't they? Yeah, they did say that, and this is where you're right. This is where it could change. This is slowly, like you're saying, but this is where it could be. Like, this is the justice, isn't it? This is justice now, and it's like, you know, when you can film it.
I'm quietly optimistic that something will change because of this, but I can't see it.
Sorry, Steve-O, I'm not being rude. Hi, Turbo. Hi, Linda. Hi, everybody. Sorry, we're not being rude, but when we get on the chat, me and Juvix, it lasts hours. Honestly, ask Buford, he'll tell you. He just puts like cotton wool in his ears when we're on the phone.
Yeah, he just go up and saying, "Do you want a cuppa? Do you want a cuppa?"
He just switches off. We're not ignoring anyone, but hope you all have a good day. Have a good day, Steve-O. Big love to you and family always. But yeah, I really hope it does change, you know.
And another thing, I'm really pleased that you've done this live, Shelley. I'm really pleased that you have. I didn't expect anybody to be.
Is that a good birthday present for you?
I'm really pleased that you did.
Is that a nice little birthday treat for you today? This morning?
It certainly is. Last night, I'm like, get in. He's a universe. He's been found guilty. And you know something? I woke up this morning thinking, well, we're just coming out of lockdown. There's nowhere really to go. I mean, you can still only go out for a meal if you're outside, and it's not that warm to sit outside for a meal. I won't be going. I'll be potting around in the garden. But I thought, do you know something? This is brilliant. The fact that guy is waking up in prison the first time on my birthday. It's like, get in.
Lovely birthday treat this morning. No, because we're like us, you know, we're passionate and we do like me, you know, like I've been following it, you've been, you know, and it's like, you know, last night that I just, honestly, I was like you, jumping up, I was messaging people, you know, I do people's heads in sometimes when I go about stuff, but it's because I was passionate about it. When it happened, I cried. I wanted to jump into the screen. You know, that poor man.
Yeah.
You know, that
and
day.
his kids and that, you think, oh my God. But he has, I mean, like I said, hopefully his death will change the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if that's the only thing that comes out of it, that other people who have any racist tendencies in their body to think, you know, something, we all bleed the same. We all worry about the same things. We worry about our kids. Majority of people just want to live a normal life and just want to get on. And hopefully they may be able to now. Hopefully they will, but the struggle will still go on. But hopefully the coppers now will go, oh shit, I'm not going to do that, because I'm not going to. See, the American police have had such a long time of getting off with this, knowing for a fact that nothing was going to happen. But now this might set some of them thinking, shit, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be
educated. Juvix. I think the American police should be sat in a room and educated about it. That's what I think.
The thing is what happened, you know, there was a big thing going around and going, oh, Black Lives Matter, they want to defund the police force. They didn't want to defund who in the right mind would want to defund police? We need police. In America, it's not like they're over here, but in America, if they have a troubled area, say, in that troubled area, you might have a high percentage of people with mental illnesses in that community. And if that's the case, in quite a few incidences, the police have been called out to people who are in a manic state because they're mentally unwell or bipolar, whatever reason.
Nearly got called out to me the other night.
But see, that's the point. If you've got somebody mentally unwell, right, and they're in a manic situation, only people that knows about that is psychiatrists, psychologists, people who work in that profession. So rather than send a copper out, or a couple of coppers with their guns, because let's face it, what they do with the coppers there, they must send about bloody 10 police cars out. Well, that's only going to fuel the situation for somebody who's already manic. And what they're saying about when they're saying defund, so when they have a situation like that, they'll go, oh, well, in this area, the coppers were called out an extra, 21 times because of mentally ill people. Right, we need 21 more coppers to be able to deal with that situation. And what the other people are going is, no, you don't. What you need is 21 psychiatric nurses to be able to go out and talk these people down. So when they're saying defund the police, they're not saying get rid of the police. What they're saying is, instead of chucking money at more police every time there's a situation, and the police are not helping the situation, get professionals involved.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I got the other day, Juvix, a letter from Callum School. Police, our police were from here, they've donated 30 grand, which I thought was the COVID money that that billed everybody on, but they donated 30 grand to youth charities, so you know, to help with the children.
Yes, exactly what the Americans should be doing, Shell.
That's right. Yeah, you're right, and they should be doing that, and they need to be educated. Like, I think the first thing they should be educated on is more with the, you know, with the racism, and have have deep conversations about it, get to know the history, and you know, because it will it could open up their eyes, you know, even if it just opens up three, you know, that's how it will begin, and that's how they can talk, you know, it happens. But you're right, they should be doing it more like that for the youth, and then, you know, it's better for them, isn't it?
Be doing. I mean, we know in this country over the last 10 years with the Tory government that they've defunded, like you say, play areas for kids. They've got rid of youth workers. They aren't putting money into, say, like kids in the inner cities. And then they wonder why they say knife crime goes up. Well, they're not doing no education or preventative. Where do they expect a load of kids to go, especially in the city, if there's no youth centres? Nothing like that, nothing for where kids can go and congregate with a watchful eye. Youth leaders say, no, we don't. They're just kicked out in the street. What this government, oh, we can't afford that. We'll take that money off them. Sure Start nurseries. Oh, we don't need Sure Starts. We'll take the money off them. And then there's and single mothers going out getting a job. Yeah, well, they're on basic pay. By the time they get a nursery and pay to put that kid in a nursery,
struggling, isn't they?
Gone.
It's true, and it is true. And it's like, you're right. And it's like, I remember when I was a lot younger, we had youth centres, didn't we? And we had places to go and places to chill and to like sit and chat. And
in Hartlepool, when we were growing up in Hartlepool, and this is in the 70s, all of our secondary schools were built, not all of our secondary schools, should I say, the secondary schools were there, then they come along and they went, right, they built every secondary school in the town their own sports centre, and every secondary school in their own town has their own swimming baths on the grounds as well. So the school I went to, we had our own swimming baths, we had our own sports centre, and we had our own youth centre. Each one of the youth centres were built separately. It wasn't they converted a couple of classrooms. It was ours was built like a 50 pence piece. It was a purpose-built building for the youth centre. So then every time you'd finish school on the night, you went to the youth centre. The youth centre had some teachers that run it and some youth workers. So you were watched at all times. You were, I mean, I remember I got pissed once and I signed in and I was Sharon. I was pissed at that. I was staggering the whole year. They were watching me stagger across the field, you know.
Oh, I love you.
Worried and thinking, oh, I hope Sharon made it home all right, being drunk the way it was. So anyway, they come and knocked on my mum's door and they just went,
I need an incontinent pad with you because you make me
and it just says, hey, you're all right. I just want to make sure that your Sharon got up. And we had to put her out because she was blank drunk. And she went, and I staggered down the stairs. She went, that's the one that was drunk? And he went, that's the one. She went, no, that one's Julia, not Sharon. So, I mean, they did watch you. You weren't just left to God and Providence type of thing. And I think it's that kind of things that all schools need.
Yeah, you're right. And it is true. And I'm so glad, like, that I know, obviously, the funding probably did come from the old, you know, the fines that were built up through the lockdown sort of thing. You know, but like 30 grand to donate to charities for the youth, maybe, you know, it is a good thing, and it might stop a bit of crime around here because, like, you know, like your ends and other ends, like we all get the knife crime, and you know we've got it bad here as well. What I don't agree with is, you know, like the knife boxes that they have at the stations. Yeah, you can put your old knives in. I think I spoke to you about this before, or was it somebody else? How do you not know that? Because all them knives get destroyed, don't they? So once you put that knife in there, well, how do you not know one of them have been used on someone, and then that's been destroyed?
I'd like to think, now it all depends if you have an amnesty where you can just put them in anonymously, but I still think that we know what the police are like. They will fingerprint every weapon that goes in, I would have thought. I don't know if they do that, but it makes sense to have fingerprinted every weapon that was taken in under some kind of amnesty and check to see if they had been used in, I don't know.
See, my friend said to me that they don't, because this is the conversation I was having with her, because her son got stabbed quite bad, and he was really bad, and she tried to sort of do like a little campaign this end about the knife boxes that actually the knife put in, but I don't obviously know a lot about, you know, I haven't sort of looked like gone into it and that, but you know, but yeah, maybe you're right, they probably do, you know, like
it should,
have to, sort of thing. But it's horrible, isn't it, Juve? It's like over America, it's more gun, but over here, it's more knife, isn't it? Because they can't get hold of guns.
And it all comes down to, really, I would have thought, I mean, you can't stamp it all out to a certain extent, but you would have thought that just the education bit, you would have thought that our government would have kept that up. Do you know something? Oh, there's no money for this, there's no money for that. But like, well, just through this pandemic, I mean, you've had something like, I think it's more than that, 32 billion given out in contracts to their chums. But
that's a lot of money, isn't it, Jufix? That's a lot of money. Where's it gone? You know?
Well, 39 billion was given out in this, I think it was 39 billion, test, track and trace that we never used because it was no good. So that means a company that was set up, obviously it was set up for test, track and trace in this country because we never had test, track and trace. So obviously a new company was set up to do this. Now, the new companies that were set up are all friends of either Dominic Cummings or Boris Johnson. So basically, this brand new company that was set up just to receive a government contract were given 39 billion, and then they go, oops, the test, track and trace we were wanting to do doesn't work. The government haven't said, give us our 39 billion back. They've just said,
actually, okay. You saying this to me the other week, do you remember? We was talking about that. And so where's the money gone?
This new company, that's where the money's gone. This new company, like I say, friends of Dominic Cummings and the like, they've just walked away with 39 billion. Wow. So they've got 39 billion in the back pocket. We haven't been giving that money back.
And they say greed is power, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, you had David Mellor, who was an ex-MP under the Margaret Thatcher days, and he got into trouble with all sorts. I mean, them days you could get into trouble for having extramarital affairs, and he did. But he was given a contract, I think that was something like a £67 million contract for the PPE masks. Anyway, he was given 67 million. Wow. And to do the PPE masks, he bought them for what price we don't know, but it was them masks that were no good, so they were binned, couldn't use them. So that's 67 million in his back pocket, walking away, and nobody said, you haven't honoured the contract, give us our money back.
The scammers. They're actually
so
scammers.
There's no money for sewer starts and for bleeding youth centres. I'm sure 39 billion and 67 million would have put a lot of youth centres across this country.
Yeah, you're right. And it would change so much, wouldn't it? Yeah. For like the youth today, for them to like progress in a different way and outlook in life, you know, because all they know, it's not all of them, that's wrong to say, but like, you know, they go out on the street, which then leads to gangs, doesn't it? Yeah, you know my thing, what I've been going through, and like, you know, and then it's like once they're in that gang, it's hard to get out, isn't it? Because they start.
That's it. They can't get out, can they? I mean, we know that. Once you're in, blood out type of thing, you're not going to get out. And that's the idea of having youth centres to catch these kids before the gangs get them. But our kids aren't. Look how I look at it, they don't reckon our kids are worth it because they're only working class kids. But in the inner cities, and I mean, a lot of, you get a lot of blacks and you get a lot of ethnic minorities in the cities. So they make a lot of it up. So they're going to go, we don't really want to give them young inner city black kids a youth centre. They don't need it. It's because they're not interested in them. They'd rather just put them in prison when they do something wrong. Don't try and... There's no preventative measures now, is there?
No, and it's so like twisted, isn't it? And it's horrible because like, you know, we all of us like need that chance in life, you know, especially, and it's right. You're right, Juvix, you know, and it's like true. Someone said here, like Linda D. Hello, Linda D. She said money has been laundered back into the government idiots' pockets. That's right. It's true. Useless contracts at that.
Yeah, that's just exactly what it is. Now you're doing a nice as far as I'm looking, you're doing a nice positive live this morning about what's happened in the world, because it is a worldwide news, and you're doing something positive and you're speaking correctly, positively about it. From what I'm gathering on Tony's live, they're all thinking that it's wrong. Well, not all, I tell a lie there, but some of them are going, it's like they have made a martyr out of him. Well, yeah, he lost his life. He was murdered by a copper.
Yeah, he was killed.
People, yeah,
he
but
was
other
killed.
people are thinking that he had the right to lose his life. Do you see what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know. I'm sorry. I disagree. I'm sorry. That's horrible to say. He didn't deserve to lose his life at all. He should never have lost his life.
You know, when you're saying what you're going to do for your birthday, what I'll be doing for my birthday is probably jumping on streams and arguing the toss of people who are ignorant. That's what I'll probably be doing on my birthday, Shelley.
I need another incontinent pad, everyone. You crack me up, Judith. Honestly, that's what you will be doing today as well. You know.
Oh, definitely, because it's like, hang on a minute, he's a convicted murderer. At the end of the day, there's certain things within that the jury of that will have seen and heard that probably we weren't privy to.
Yeah.
So, look, at the end of the day, the guy murdered, and he's now doesn't matter what anybody says, he is now a convicted killer.
Yeah, he is. And remember, he had 18 accounts before George Floyd, didn't he? Of
definitely
against them. Yeah.
What a lot of people fail to forget, he worked at the same club as George Floyd. He was George Floyd was a bouncer in a club, I think, and so was that copper. He took, like a lot of coppers do, I don't know why, but they do second jobs, and he was acting as security. Now, because he was acting as security in this nightclub, he was on even pegging with George Floyd. So he did have a few arguments with George Floyd.
Before
so he knew the guy. So I think in my head, I thought he's just thought, right, oh yeah, it's him, get him.
And he thought he'd get away with
I'm in charge. Yeah. We're in a situation here where I hold power. At work, we're both on the same equal pegging, but I hold power in this situation, and I'm going to exercise it, and that's exactly what we done.
Yeah, you're right, Juvix, you know, because, and it is true, when they hold that little bit of power between them, you know, they become a bully, don't they? And that is exactly what he's done. And he killed that poor man. And
he did.
You know, it's devastating, mate.
Well, I will say thank you for doing this live show.
No, thank you for jumping on, darling. And you know what? I hope you have a lovely, positive day today. And thank you for coming on and chatting with me. I've got to take the dogs out now.
Yeah,
it's only a quick live.
Right.
I'm glad you come in and chatted. I knew it. I did think of you last night, and I'm arranging with my mum, hon. So I'm definitely coming to see you. So it's happening. So I am coming down, up, west, south. I don't know yet.
You said for the Lake District in Angarite, it'll be okay.
Yeah, I can't wait. Love you lots. Yeah, love you lots. And big love to Buford as well. Yeah.
Tell him when the lazy gets up. Right?
Yeah. Have a good day, hon.
Speak
to you later. You too.
Speak you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you later, darling. Bye. Hello, everybody. Maggie. Good morning, darling. Woo Mobile. Linda, thank you for coming in. Hang on, I just need to scroll up because I did see Turbo because I can't. Thank you so much, Turbo. Callum will absolutely love it. Thank you. Oh my God, you are going to make his day. He's been battling a little bit, but you're going to really make his day, Turbo. And you know what? I can't wait to do your photos, mate, at your charity event. It's going to be a good day. What you do for charity is brilliant, honestly. 100%. They don't take prints off the knives. That's what my friend said, Mags. My friend, because my friend she was trying to start a campaign about it because her son got really he got, cut a long story short, he got into a gang and he got stabbed quite bad. And these knives apparently get put in a bin. And she was trying to do a campaign about it. And someone was like saying to her that that doesn't happen. And she was sort of saying, but they take them. Yeah, so you're right. Yeah, so she was right. Handed in 100,000 knives handed in. Wow. And that's London, you know, like it goes everywhere, doesn't it? It's happening, isn't it? Knife crime. And it's a big thing at the moment in like with us, you know, America's more guns, like we're more knives over this end, you know, and it's devastating what it does to people, gangs, you know, my friend nearly lost her son and thankfully she didn't, but some have been, and you know, it's not nice. Angel, a knife angel. I didn't read that bit. Oh my god, oh my god, how can you make a knife an angel? Like I just find, I agree with the parents 100%. I'd be upset if they were doing that in my area. It's like there's no like an angel about, you know, a knife, especially when I get like, you know, when you've lost somebody and they're angels, but you know, knife crime is just wrong. But is that so? That is true then, Mags. They do. Yeah, you're right. It's like the big C. Most. Yeah. It's true. And to not take like the prints, so my friend was telling me, like, how do you not know that one of them knives that have been put in that bin has been used on somebody that had, you know, that weren't lucky, you know, enough to survive or something, you know? Yeah, you're right. It is. It is. And it's got to stop. Yeah, you agree. Yeah, she was telling, honest to God, and this woman was like, obviously, like debating with her about it, and she's like really passionate about it because of what happened to her son. And you know, we all know people that we've lost, you know, to knife crime, and you know, she nearly lost her son, and it's just twisted world, honestly. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Clint. Yeah, I've been cut in the face with a knife as well 3 times. So, you know, I haven't been stabbed, like, but I've been sliced, like cut. So it isn't nice at all. Yeah, that's what she was saying to me, Mag. That's what she said to me. And you know what? It's right. So that's what me and Judith was talking about. Obviously, do they do the fingerprinting? But no, she said to me, they put it in the bin. That's it. They get destroyed. So you're right. No questions asked. She was right. Bless her. Gonna have to go and have a chat with her now. Get this campaign going. Probably won't go anywhere, but it's nice to start one and try and get it somewhere, isn't it? You know, you won't know unless you try, really, in life. But yeah, thank you all for popping in. I'm going to go and take my dogs out now because they need a W. I'm not going to say the WALK because their ears will pop up and they'll be running around like loonies. But yeah, for a W, because I was only meant to do a quick live as normal. But no, big love to everyone. Thanks for coming in. Bless you. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. I smell it too. Same here. Bless you. You got her, ain't you? They're not silly. Their ears pick up and that's it. Mine, I'll tell you what, right? It's funny, isn't it? The doorbell goes, they're laying on the settee. The alarm goes off, they're laying on the settee. You open the fridge door and they jump off the settee and straight to the fridge. Yeah, big love as well. Big love, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Juvix, I hope you have a lovely birthday, darling. I really do. You deserve it, sweetie. Big love, everyone. Peace out. Not 61, Juvix. You're 21. We'll be like sisters. Love ya. Peace out.